Hello everyone! Boris Gulko is a pretty amazing figure in the chess world. He's the only person to ever win the United States Championship and the Soviet Championship as well. And he has a positive score against Garry Kasparov. Out of the seven classical games they played, Gulko won 3 games, 3 games were drawn, and only 1 game was won by Kasparov. And this is the third game they're playing. First game was drawn, second was won by Gulko, so Kasparov probably wants to win this game. The game was played in 1982, so 3 years before Kasparov became world champion, and it seems Kasparov's desire to win got the better of him. And everybody was always saying that Gulko is the man and Gulko is the one to look out for. But allegedly he ran into some trouble with the Soviets and the KGB, and he wasn't allowed to play chess anywhere outside of the Soviet Union. So let's see this game. Kasparov has the white pieces and he goes for d4. We have d5, c4, the queen's gambit, d captures on c4, Gulko accepts the gambit, and e3, knight to f6, bishop captures on c4, e6, knight to f3, and c5 by Gulko. Kasparov castles, we have a6, e4, b5, kicking that bishop away, bishop to d3, and bishop to b7. Bishop to g5 by Kasparov, c captures on d4, knight captures on d4, and knight b to d7. Of course, Gulko can't capture this knight because he loses the queen after bishop captures on b5 with check. So after knight to d4, Gulko goes for knight b to d7, knight to c3 developing, and knight to e5 by Gulko. And this is the critical moment in the game for Kasparov, as Kasparov in this position probably should have went for something like bishop to e2, not allowing Gulko to target this bishop on d3. But Kasparov played knight c captures on b5. And what's the idea? Why did Kasparov sacrifice a piece here? Kasparov saw that if Gulko accepts the sacrifice, a captures on b5, he had bishop captures on b5 with check, knight e to d7 blocking, and then e5. And it seems that Kasparov is getting the piece back because it's impossible to keep the piece with h6. For example, bishop to h4, g5, and now e captures on f6. And if Gulko would recapture the piece with g captures on h4, then Kasparov has this wonderful resource of playing knight captures on e6. And this is game over. You can't really capture the knight because queen to h5 is instant checkmate, and if you don't want to capture it, you have to play something like queen to c8, as you do have to defend this knight on d7. Kasparov is threatening to capture it, but after knight to g7 with check and king to d8, this rook to c1 move ends the game immediately, as the queen has nowhere to go. She has to defend this knight on d7, and Kasparov wins the queen. So of course Kasparov really, I guess, wanted to win this game and played a knight captures on b5, but Gulko has an in-between move. He plays a knight captures on d3. And what do you play here? Of course queen captures on d3, and now Gulko accepts the sacrifice. A captures on b5. And unfortunately, capturing this pawn now with queen doesn't really achieve much, as queen captures on b5 with check is met with queen to d7, and Kasparov is, pretty much forced to trade queens. He can go back, but it doesn't achieve that much. But this might have been his best chance. For example, queen captures on d7, king captures on d7, and f3. And he is down a piece, but he has a passed a pawn and a passed b pawn. And this might give him some drawing chances, or who knows how Gulko would play this, maybe even winning chances. But after this a captures on b5, Kasparov decided to go all the way, and he played a rook f to d1, continuing with the attack. Bishop to e7 by Gulko, and now queen captures on b5, queen to d7. Kasparov, of course, doesn't want to trade queens, queen to b3. And Gulko isn't afraid of the soon-to-be world champion. He captures a pawn. Bishop captures on e4. Knight to f5 is played, and Gulko goes for bishop to d5. And, well, of course, the knight can be captured, as there is now a discovered attack from the rook to the queen here. So bishop to d5, attacking Kasparov's queen and also defending his own queen. Knight to g7, captures on g7 with check, king to f8, and here Kasparov plays queen to h3, desperately trying to make something happen. And Gulko doesn't grab the knight, he plays h5. Although even grabbing the knight is still better for black. For example, queen to h6 check, king to g8, and now bishop captures on f6, bishop captures on f6, and queen captures on f6. And with a move like rook to a4, Gulko would be perfectly fine in this position. But he doesn't want to allow Kasparov any activity, so after queen to h3 he played h5. Kasparov goes for queen to g3, and now Gulko captures the knight. King captures on g7. We have bishop captures on f6, now with check, and king captures on f6. Gulko is not afraid. Rook to d4, and well, here Kasparov has some ideas if Gulko is really gonna blunder. So maybe, for example, if queen to d6 is played, or if Gulko would offer to exchange queens like this, then Kasparov would have this rook to f4 maybe. But Gulko can even give up the queen with queen captures on f4, and he's still better. Only if he played a move like king to e5, then queen to e3 would result in checkmate after bishop e4 and queen captures on e4. But of course, after rook to d4, Gulko isn't interested in any of this. He plays the simple bishop to d6, making an escape route for his king on e7. And after bishop to d6, Garry Kasparov resigned the game. And it turns out to be a pretty nice miniature. Sorry, queen to c3 was played. He didn't resign the game after bishop to d6. Queen to c3 was played, king to g6, h3, and now after bishop to c7, Kasparov resigned the game. But he might as well resign after that first bishop to d6 move. Because, well, Kasparov is down 2 pieces and he doesn't really have a way to continue this attack. So yeah, a very nice game by Boris Gulko, the man with the positive score against Garry Kasparov, and the only man to ever win the United States Championship and the Soviet Championship. Yeah, I would like to thank Dame Pletvarec for your contribution to my channel, and Doug McNabb, thank you as well. I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon.